Slovenia has a unique natural phenomenon. Best observed from the Slavnica Mountain. At the end of winter, this 1,114-metre-high Witch Mountain has a Mediterranean climate with flowers and wildlife springing to life. Hang gliders are often to be seen as they travel above the huge karst basin until they eventually touch down at Cerknisko Jezero, the enchanted lake. On the dried-out lake bed, farmers plant corn, onions, tomatoes, beans and potatoes and reap hay. Some traces of the lake are still to be seen, small pools and boggy areas which gradually dry out. The Cerknice plain is formed by karst, with no outflow and with many subterranean caves. The unique character of this landscape is created by heavy rainfall and melted snow and ice that covers an area of up to 40 square kilometres. The water gradually disappears until sheep and cows are able to return to grazing in the fresh pastures. Water sport enthusiasts don't give up until all the water has vanished. When it rains, water flows from the surrounding mountains and into the underground caves, from where the water is forced upwards, soon forming a lake. When the water flows out of the caves, the lake disappears into countless crevices and the region's typical limestone soil, and the water travels under the ground. A few miles north, it reappears on the surface as the Rak River until it disappears once again, re-emerging at various points along its path. When the water ebbs, the sun soon dries the earth where the local plant life thrives in the fertile soil. As the lake recedes, it forms several ponds that gradually grow smaller and smaller until the fish are confined to mere puddles. Some brave souls take a swim in the green glowing water, and a few try their luck at fishing. Water is here in abundance in both autumn and winter. When it's popular with one and all. While journeying from Italy to the east, the Romans also experienced these lush pastures and impressive water-covered areas. The sight of small boats here is normal when it's wet, but looks somewhat marooned when there's no sign of water. The causeway is interrupted by a bridge under which the water flows with considerable force. moment out of sight, there are various deep gorges through which much of the lake water emerges in autumn and drains out from in summer. It's an annual cycle, a natural phenomenon without equal. Bales of hay are laid between the reed beds at the bottom of the dried-up lake. Cerknisko Jezero first became famous due to Johann Weikard Valfasor, who wrote of the region's hydrological processes in the 17th century. Indeed, due to his work, he was invited to become a member of the famous Royal Geographic Society in London, an honour which only a few foreigners were given at the time. Many of the local residents use the karst basin as a recreation area, and there's also a beekeeping area. Bees can be studied here throughout the year. In summer, horse-drawn carts are available. With no sign of water. This phenomenon was studied in detail by Balthasar Hackett in the 18th century. It was he who first understood the relationship between the formation of the lake and the inundation of the karst fields. A large forest frames the basin, and at high water level, the trees form a wonderful landscape. The lake has attracted many myths and legends. One tells of a village in which, on the day of our Lord, the villagers held a large party with song and wine. An old man warned them several times not to dishonor this hallowed day, but his words were of no avail. Consequently, when a water-filled cask was knocked over, the water from it continued to flow out until the village disappeared underwater. Whether true or not, since then the following remarkable phenomenon has been repeated each year. In times of drought, the wildlife vanishes and only amphibians remain. And the area's large Sika columns and holes are like a utopian landscape until, amazingly, Slovenia's large disappearing lake once again shows its enigmatic, watery face.